If you want to get a huge amount of merits in Call of Dragons in 2026, this is the perfect video for you to watch. This will be the Maggrat and Zayda full guide, how I have got 400k merits in a single report, and how I'm currently getting, for example, 75k merits. I will share all the talents, skill priorities, war pets, artifacts, and how you can actually progress your Maggrat and Zayda to get 100k merits per 1 March, which is a huge amount of number for every single player, not only for Archer, right? Here, I'm gonna stop fighting and I'm gonna check the reports, how much we got, and we're gonna go and start the full guide, right? This is the 78k report, which I got in 10 minutes of fighting. You can see how much healing and damage my warped did, also some normal attack damage, and of course, I will share all the secrets which I know about Maggrat and Zayda, right? So let's begin, let's not waste too much time, and first of all, of course, let's go to the heroes directly, right? Of course, it's mandatory to actually unlock Maggrat and Zayda. Maggrat will be primary hero and Zayda will be secondary, right? The skill priorities for these heroes are different. Your minimum for you to have the full strengths for Maggrat, you have to have 5551, right? I am on a mystery skill, that's why I have Garwood skill, but basically I have 5551. If you are a spender in Call of Dragons, of course you are going to awaken Maggrat. It will be a great addition to your squad. But for the free-to-play players, for the low spenders, keeping your Maggrat to 5551 is good enough, right? Of course, I shouldn't really say about stars. 6 like maximum stars are mandatory, right? For Zayda, in order for us to get the highest value and the full strength from the hero, we have to awaken Zayda, right? So basically your priority is to make Maggrat 5551 and then to awaken Zayda, right? Awakening skill of Zayda basically gives you more time to deal more damage, because without this skill you will need like 5-6 seconds in order to stack all the downwatchers marks, and then when you are getting a huge amount of bonuses, right? That's the skill priority for Maggrat and Zayda. And of course, I'm gonna share the whole idea about the hero pair, right? Maggrat and Zayda is great because they don't have rage. All the skills are passive skills, that we have to mention. Plus, the whole idea is that whenever you are defeating enemy troops, you are healing yourself, right? Maggrat has one of the highest healing rates and heals in game out of all troop types in Call of Dragons, which is really rare. And also we have to mention that in Call of Dragons, healing also gives you merits, right? That's how you can get huge amount of numbers from a single report. That's why no rage, which means we don't care about rage accumulation speed. You are just basically normal attacking your opponents, healing a lot and dealing some crit damage with some crit rates, right? And every single skill is actually going towards that. In terms of march speed, this hero pair is really good, and all around the build is really good. It's really easy to understand how to play on this hero pair, and whenever of course you are seeing numbers rising, you are happy, right? So of course, now when we speak about Maggrat, you have to have Zayda maximum stars. That's basically minimum, right? Defense penetration, especially for archers, are one of the most important things, because we are dealing damage most of the time to infantry players, right? So as I have mentioned, that Maggrat is the primary hero for this hero pair. What changed for me in 2026 is that I tried out Mark of the War, right? Before, in 2025, of course, I was still going for the precision talent tree, but I was choosing to go for the mighty slash, right? This KVK and the past KVK, basically for 2 KVKs, I tried out Mark of the War, and merits are getting higher and higher. I believe this is more consistent like once in 20 seconds. If it was like once in 10 seconds would be great, but if you generally want to have a consistent damage from your Maggrat and Zayda, I would say Mark of the War is truly better than Mighty Slash, right? I understand the normal attack, extra normal attack damage is great, especially if you're gonna crit it, but there is a lot of percentages in order for that to happen. But Mark of the War, straight up, no percentages, no timers, increase the attack of your Legion by 0.5% every 10 seconds up to maximum 3%. And yeah, let's basically talk through all these skills. No more crit damage from normal attacks. Here we are getting more crit rate as a bonus. Normal attack damage bonus, of course, that's the best way for us to deal damage. Invisible, when launching a normal attack, your Legion has 10% chance to gain onslaught, increasing their normal attack damage by 8% for 5 seconds, which is really good, right? And of course, we never ever forget the march speed for the archer heroes. That's really important, right? If you don't have good march speed on your archers, it will be impossible for you to survive the amount of blinks and charges infantry and cavalry players are using, right? So overall speed, of course, maximum. Here we choose another overall speed on maximum, and even on a marksman tree, I went for overall marksman speed yet again in order for me to utilize the march speed however much I can, right? I went for the half marksman tree with the bullseye, of course, for the more attack. I guess, well, rage skill, we don't have rage skill on Maggrat and Zayda, that's why this is the only choice we have here. There is a couple of things which I want to try in the future. I want to get more dedication for extra healing, but we'll see, right? Maybe I will try that out in the future. But so far, what I have actually tested is that Mark of the War is actually better than Mighty Slash during the open field PvP. More consistent damage means more merits, right? That's the simple reason. So yeah, that's my talent trees for Maggrat and Zayda, for Maggrat because she's the primary hero for us, right? And of course, we're gonna continue. There is still a lot of things which we have to mention, and that's of course artifacts, right? Why Gilded Crossbow is the best artifact for Maggrat and Zayda? There is a one simple reason. Of course, it's an assault offensive artifact, marksman unit attack, Legion attack, but there is one really important aspect why Gilded Crossbow is so good for Maggrat and Zayda, right? Well, this is the additional effect. Increases your Legion's enemy HP bypass by up to 30%. That's because I have level 4. Actually, yesterday I increased one more level. If increases 1.3% of your highest buff stack count, right? Effect persists until end of the battle. So enemy HP bypass is the best offensive buff besides all damage increased for archers in my opinion, especially against infantry players. And plus, one thing which I absolutely love about this artifact is this march speed bonus, right? The amount of times when you're gonna use the Gilded Crossbow skill, this march speed bonus will be your savior, right? I don't know how many times this bonus, march speed bonus, saved me against cavalry and infantry players, and I continued to deal damage to them meanwhile, right? So this is still, in my opinion, the best archer artifact in the game. I don't care how good the Roaring Rager is and how many times you can recast your skill. Survivability for the archer gameplay is crucial in my opinion. So now this artifact not only gives us survivability, but it also deals a lot of damage from the enemy HP bypasses and from the skill, right? It also deals damage to 3 legions while moving, and while moving is really important, right? You can check Rattle Spear and Iron Tusk, how hard it is when you are using skill, you are basically standing still, right? So this is a huge difference to use skill while you are actually moving around the battlefield. Of course, If you still don't have Gilded Crossbow, there is some replacements in my opinion. Well, before I had Gilded Crossbow, I was using Heart of Kamasi. It was more defensive artifact, but whenever I was using skill, and the skill is giving us physical attack bonus and normal attack damage bonus, especially if it's a level 5, that's when you are dealing a lot of damage while equipped Heart of Kamasi, right? Besides that, this artifact is defensive. It doesn't really mean you won't gonna get merits. For sure you are going to get a lot of merits, but in a slower rate, right? So I believe Heart of Kamasi is a great replacement for the Gilded Crossbow, for the archer gameplay. I know it's more defensive, it's a basically buffing artifact, but the buffs which you are getting is huge for that hero pair. But best in slot for Maggrat and Zayda is of course Gilded Crossbow. Let's move to one of the most important topics, right? One of the most important topics in the game when you are speaking about the strengths of the hero pairs in open field, and that's of course war pits, right? War pits, which I said many times how important this feature of the game it is for open field PvP. So the best in-slot war pet for Maggrat and Zayda is Shadow Manticore, right? This pet has everything what you want to get for Maggrat and Zayda, some damage, some healing, and if you are going to build a Shadow Manticore, just how I got it here with the Advanced Chain Strike for healing rate, this war pet is going to heal even more than Maggrat, right? And as I have mentioned, Maggrat is the best healer in the game in open field while fighting. So Warped, which healing is not the priority, it's half damage, half healing, can heal more than Maggrat, right? And it also deals huge amount of damage. At the start of the video, I showed you the report which I got until I started recording the video, and you can see the amount of heals and damage this Warped can do, right? Of course, priorities for the Shadow Manticore is luck, agility, and strength. One of the most highest priorities is to get Barbarism 3-star. Advanced Barbarism actually deals damage and quite a lot too, right? So Advanced Barbarism with your 3 Yggdra crystals should be the priority also for you, right? And yeah, I went for Advanced Chain Strike. I rate healing a lot, that's why this scale will be on every single warped which I have in the game. Even on Snowpeak Rock, even on Barbed Manticore, right? You can see Advanced Chain Strike is always there. Even on Night Rock, which I have not even built, 1 star is there. I got it like in my first year of Call of Dragons. So, Shadow Manticore, the best in slot warped for Maggrat and Zayda. If you got it, you are a pretty good spot. Try to make Chain Strike 3-star and Intense Chain Strike 3-star. It doesn't really cost too much. If you are a PvP player, you will get a lot of merits and you will buy the warped skills from the merit store. But if you want to have a budget version of Shadow Manticore, that's of course Sand Lizard, right? Sand Lizard is a really cheap warped. It doesn't really deal any damage. Sand Lizard only can heal, and basically that's the way you can have a budget warped for your Maggrat and Zayda, right? And for the beginners especially, it can work. But if you want to have best in slot warpeds for your favorite hero pair, if it's a Maggrat and Zayda, then of course you kinda have to go for the Shadow Manticore, right? So of course there is a number 2 way, like second style, how you can build Shadow Manticore. You won't gonna get Advanced Chain Strike, but you're gonna get Angry Roar. It will be more of a crit damage, crit rate build. You won't gonna get Tooth of the Claw, but you will get Fatal Bite, right? So basically you are removing healing skills and Tooth of the Claw, and you are inserting crit rate and crit damage skills, and that's like second style for Maggrat and Zayda. But I believe my way is nice. There is a lot of counter-attack damage in Call of Dragons, and healing always helps with that, right? So yeah, this is the Still one of the best hero pairs in Call of Dragons in 2026, Maggrat and Zayda. Of course, it's costly to get to the spot where I am right now, but I have spent like 1 year building this hero pair. And yeah, like at first I unlocked Zayda from the Lucky Spins event. Then I basically almost awakened her, and I still have not had Maggrat unlocked because Maggrat was gettable from the strongest lord and Wheel of Destiny. I was basically really close awakening Zayda, and I went basically all in on the next strongest lord. I finished that strongest lord in a 25th place. I actually made the video regarding that, and that's how I unlocked Maggrat. After that, I got 5551 Maggrat finally, and I wasn't able to get Gilded Crossbow, right? I was using Heart of Kamasi. And then in the second year anniversary of Call of Dragons, the anniversary event came. If you had 60k gems, you could actually get the chest from the anniversary artifact event, and you could click which artifact you wanted to acquire. I clicked on Gilded Crossbow, and that's how I unlocked Gilded Crossbow. The levels, I think one level I got from the Universal Artifact Compendium, and 2 levels or 3 levels even I got from the Forge of Light. That's how we got level 4. Actually, yesterday I got the 4th level, which is a big achievement for me, right? And for the Shadow Manticore, I basically was building this warped almost 1 year. And that's how we got here, right? And that's how this hero pair made a 400k report in a single run, and basically on average I can fully go 400k each, and that's really happy for me, right? Currently in this season, in this KVK zone, last zone have not even opened, and we already have this amount of merits, and believe me, 99% of my merits are coming from Archer gameplay, right? And I tried my best to share all the secrets of that hero pair. Hopefully it was understandable and you guys will use it. And as always, if you like the video, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody an amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.